And not gonna lie, I watched this movie like 3 weeks ago, and for some reason, I forgot to make a review about it. So I apologize that this is extremely late, but I guess this is now relevant now that The Northman has a trailer and a poster. So I apologize. I find that crazy. I can't believe I actually forgot to review something. That I did watch a lot of movies that week. It was right after school had ended, and I was just binge watching movies left and right. So, anyways, well, here it is, my review for The Witch. The Witch was released in 2015, and it was written and directed by Robert Eggers. Eggers is a different person. Eggers. And essentially what this movie is about, no spoilers, is about this little town, well, I guess it is a little town, in the very, very before times, like the Stone Age, well, not even the Stone Age, it was a little after that. Forever ago, I don't really know when it said, I would guess the late 1800s. Maybe even early 1800s. Anyway, this family gets banished from the town because they're weird. So they move into their own little place by the woods, and they start noticing weird things happening, and they think it's a witch. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can share with you about the plot of this film. It is an A24 film, and I'm a huge A24 guy, so I was really excited to be able to check this one out. And the main reason I did was because I have been wanting to watch this movie for a while. I've seen trailers, I've heard things about it, and I've just been really excited to actually watch it myself. So, I watched it one day, and let me tell you, this movie's pretty darn good. It's very, very cool. The writing is very well done. It's got a kind of old English feel to it, and it's got some weird expressions in it, like the way the words are like said, I would say, I hate that sentence, it is very well done. Like it is very good. I appreciate that they actually took the time to say, hey, in this time period, this is how you would say this. And it was really easy to follow too, which is impressive considering movies made now that are supposed to be representative of that time period are almost never good. So I appreciated that. I think the cinematography worked really well. It made it kind of seem dark and gritty, which I think was important for this movie, in particular because it is such a movie that needs to be dark and gritty. And if the cinematographer decided to just kind of do it normal and have a regular kind of feel to it, like a regular movie, it would have flunked. And I think this is not a regular movie. This is a very, very good horror movie. It's still not my favorite horror movie, but it's a very, very good horror movie. Anya Taylor-Joy as Thomasin. This is her first role, like her first credited role in a film. So that's kind of cool to see where she had started before, now she's done The Queen's Gambit. She was in The New Mutants, and she was in Last Night in Soho. And, it's cool to watch somebody grow. It's cool to be like, hey, that's how she was back then. This is how she is now. And she's very different, I would say. I mean, obviously very different. It's a very different role. But I'm impressed with her talent because she's really, really solid in The Queen's Gambit. Like, really, really good. I didn't know for sure that was, like, actual acting or if that's just how she was in real life. I can say that it is absolutely acting because she is brilliant in The Witch, in a completely different character in a completely different situation. I will say that some things got away from me a little bit. I think that particularly towards the end, it does rush a little bit, which for a movie like this, you actually want it to be slow. You want to feel the characters as they are experiencing this, right? Because you know what it is. You're aware. They tell you what's going on, but you are struggling to watch the characters as they figure it out. And they kind of just jump to conclusions really fast, and then that's it. And I really wanted to see the characters struggle. I wanted them to be like, well, maybe it's this, maybe even do a little bit of exploring in terms of trying to figure out what it could possibly be. And they didn't really do a whole lot of that, so I felt a little deprived at that point, which I guess is more of a me problem than anything else, but still. And I will say that for the most part, the performances were good, but they were not well written, and I don't even want to say well written. I would say not well represented. Like, we had really two main characters, with the dad and Anya Taylor-Joy's character, and everyone else definitely felt like a lesser character. And I think a movie like this could have really benefited from making it more of a family movie, not literally a family movie in terms of, like, I don't think this would be for children, but like a movie about an entire family trying to figure things out instead of just the dad and the daughter, because there's like two other kids as well as the mother. And they kind of feel pushed to the side in comparison to these two characters. And I realize there's always going to be, main characters. But in a movie like this, I feel like they could have been successful with having all of them be main characters. In fact, they're really the only people in the entire film. But if you like horror stuff, this is definitely for you. I mean, it's creepy, it's awesome, it's exciting. It's exactly what I wanted at the time. It does feel like it was kind of rushed. Even the production feels rushed. It feels like they weren't entirely sure of what everything should look like. Like, some of the camera positions, I was like, that was cool, but what if you did this? And I don't know, maybe that's just me after watching, hundreds of films now, being, extra Spielberg-y. I don't know. But I still think it's a very, very good film. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Still not my favorite. I think as of this moment, my favorite horror movie is probably A Quiet Place. Maybe A Quiet Place Part 2. I'm going to consider them one film because they are one story. And they're both freaking phenomenal. I'd say they're both about equal in terms of my love for them. This movie's definitely up there. It's very good. If you have not seen it, I recommend you do, because it really, truly is a fantastic film. And I'm going to go ahead and give The Witch an A-. Have you guys seen The Witch? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about it. I believe you can find it on Showtime, so if you have Showtime and you're interested in checking it out, definitely do so and come back and let me know what you guys thought. I really appreciate every single one of you for watching and sticking around, and if you do like what you see, consider subscribing so you can get more, and it really helps me out a whole lot, so please consider doing that. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.